why you need to travel and how to start. What's up guys, King Epic here. Each time you travel, it gets easier and becomes more fun. The first time it might seem a little complicated, like a lot of work, but this is where the fun begins. If you have only ever eaten one sort of cake in your life, how do you know it's good? What the fuck? What kind of stupid question is this? And what does it have to do with traveling? A lot. If all you know are your local women, your local culture, city, whatever, you have nothing to compare it to. You don't know if it's actually good because you have nothing else. You might think something is good simply because you haven't seen anything else. And traveling gives you that clean slate, a new perspective, and now you can suddenly say, wow, back home was nice, but things are better out here. I appreciate what I have back home, but I like the women, the food, whatever it might be, much more here. I personally travel for quality of life. I like Asian women, so it's only logical to hang out in those places like Thailand and Vietnam. You can do the same. If food is your thing or you're looking for low costs of living, just pick the place that caters best to your needs. There is an urgency to traveling though. Most countries are just going to become more westernized. This can be good and bad. Bad if you're looking to experience the inherent local culture and women in their natural femininity. Look at Bangkok 20, 30 years ago and you know what I mean. A good example is Vietnam. Right now there are hardly any tourists. It's a communist country. That's why it feels so different even though it's so close to Thailand. But how long will it stay like that? That's what's driving me to take the plunge, to not postpone traveling because I know the chance might be gone forever. And another important point, each passing year are your responsibilities becoming more or less freedom. If you're honest with yourself, you know it's only going to become more difficult to start traveling in the future. So now you've decided to travel. How do you actually start? Number 1, watch online videos. So you get a sneak preview and see if that's what you're looking for. Reading and articles are great too, but they can't do what videos do. Get to see and hear before you actually get there. I have complete playlists of Bangkok and Vietnam that show a variety of aspects of each city, admittedly focusing on nightlife and girls, but that's what most single men traveling will be interested in anyway. Number 2, pick a location. No place will ever be 100% what you're looking for, so you have to take a chance. Again, Vietnam as the prime example here. I simply went there to get a new visa for Thailand. I didn't think much of it, but when I arrived, I realized I was completely wrong and thought it was amazing, but I would have never found out by just continuing to watch these videos indefinitely. Number 3, use a guide. For Bangkok and Vietnam, I offer interactive guides that take care of everything for you. Hotels, bars, massage places, etc. You're saving yourself a ton of time, money, and frustration, all of which can turn your holiday into a nightmare. If you are going to any other city than those two, just find a guide online. Without a guide, you have to research it all on your own. Ton of work, and in the end, you don't even know if you found the best place, the cheapest price, the best value. Number 4, book the flight. Very simple, and you should use price comparison sites like Skyscanner to get a good deal. If you don't know the exact return flight date or plan on staying longer, just book a single flight ticket. But isn't that an issue? Yes, that's why you should use services like Fly Onward when you are using a single flight ticket. You get a return flight ticket for $10 there. How's that possible? Like $10? Here's how they do it. And you can do it yourself. It's just going to be more work, so I don't mind paying the $10. They buy an actual refundable ticket in your name. Ideally, you book it shortly before you need to go through immigration. You just go through immigration and then they refund the ticket which was bought in your name. So the $10 or whatever price you pay with whatever service provider you choose is not for the actual ticket, but rather for the service. And you can choose between return flight tickets that are either valid for 24 or 48 hours. 5, book the hotel. If you are using a guide, it's very easy because there you will already see a ton of recommended hotels to choose from. On my first trip to Thailand, I didn't book a hotel in advance. I thought I'd just, walk around and find something. Big mistake. I walked around a lot and the only available place I could find was a shitty place in a noisy area directly at Walking Street in Pattaya. So make sure you have at least the first few days booked. You can extend if you like anyway. Number 6, check visa requirements. Again, if you're using my guide, for example, the one for Vietnam, I cover this and show you what to do. In the case of Thailand, you can, and this really applies to most passports, stay for 30 days anyway and extend for another 30 days. If you want to stay for 90 days in total, get a tourist visa at the closest Thai embassy. Number 7, pack like a boss. Bringing enough money is the most obvious part. Anything else that you forget can be bought. But let's talk about a few things which are rarely mentioned. If you want to be safe and smart, you can split money into cash, multiple cards, and even having money online, for example, on your PayPal account, so you can at least pay for accommodation in case everything else gets stolen. Another thing, money belt. Absolutely crucial for Thailand and Vietnam, especially when you haven't checked in into your hotel yet. Once you have, you can actually deposit your valuables in the safe and won't need the money belt much anymore. A lock for your suitcase and bags to make sure nobody can steal or add something to your luggage. Very important, especially in Asia. Condoms, yes, pack a stack of those. The sizes in Asian countries are often too small for Westerners, and getting bigger ones often requires you to order online, which takes too long if you're just staying short term. And finally, an unlocked smartphone. You'll need to get a local SIM card for better navigation. It's better than relying on free Wi-Fi spots. It also makes meeting girls and using my guide so much easier. For safety purposes, you can also have a copy of your passport and the address of your country's embassy, plus the contact information printed out. I personally travel very light, only carrying the essentials so I can use it as a carry-on luggage, save time and money. Step number 8, the final step. If you remember only one thing, it should be this. As soon as you are on your first night out, send your friends home a message telling them how awesome it is. You get bonus points for additional envy if you send a picture with you and a few hotties. Alright, the sophisticated traveler might even use sarcasm by saying how awful his trip is, followed by pictures of amazing food, gorgeous women and sunny weather. So no excuses. Wherever you are, you know the exact steps, why you need to travel, and how to actually get started. And this is the exact way I plan and go about starting every trip.
But the one thing people tend to realize at moments like this is that they wasted a lot of time when life was normal. Okay, it's not just what they did with their time. It's not just that they spent too much time working or compulsively checking email. It's that they cared about the wrong things. They regret what they cared about. Their attention was bound up in petty concerns, year after year, when life was normal. Because even if you live to be 100, there's just not that many days in life.